All right, guys, this is lesson 7. I can understand the relationship between ratios and fractions. I can understand associated ratios. So, in the past, we've only been working with writing a ratio in 2 ways, with a colon or with the word to. Today, we're going to be incorporating the idea of writing ratios as a fraction. So, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so for example 2, it says here the duration of 2 films are modeled below. That word duration just means how long the film is. So film A to film B. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So film A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Film B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always think it's a good idea to write the numbers by. It's going to help you going forward. The ratio of the length of film A to the length of film B, well, that's an easy one, 5 to 7. Now here, if you notice, it wants us to write it in the form of a fraction. We're going to keep reading it the same, writing it the same way. We're just doing top over bottom. So the length of, again, film A to film B, making sure I'm double checking what they're asking. Film A, 5 over film B, 7. Now in this one, they flip-flopped the question. They want to know the length of film B to the length of film A. So we have to look at film B first, 7. So film A, 5. So now I've got 7 over 5. Make sure you keep track of the order. I always think it's a good idea to underline or circle the order of the ratio so that you know you're writing it correct. Because if you write 5 over 7, that is not correct for what this one is asking. You have to first, and I always kind of use my fingers. Okay, film B, I found that here, so I know I write that first. Film A, I found that here, I know I write that second. Make sure everything stays in the correct order. Okay, so for this next one, I'm excited. We're dipping a little bit of algebra into this here, and this is really fun. It's like a little puzzle. So, exercise 1. Sammy and Caden went fishing using live shrimp as bait. Sammy brought 8 more shrimp than Caden brought. When they combined their shrimp, they had 32 shrimp all together. Okay, so for Sammy, we don't know, we know he brought 8 more than Caden. Okay, I'm going to use a K for Caden because we don't know how much Caden brought. 8 more means we are going to symbol addition. For Caden, we don't know how many he brought. I'm still just going to use that K for Caden. Total altogether, so I'll write total of 32. Okay, so what we're saying here, and let me switch to a different color so I really can have this stand out. All right, this is where it's so fun because we get to kind of do a little bit of algebra. So, Sammy, again, we know that however much Sammy brought and however much Caden brought, when I add those up, I'm going to get the total of 32. Okay? So, Caden, again, I'm still going to write K for Caden. I'm going to plug that in. And for Sammy, we've got 8 plus K. I'm just going to put that in parentheses so it doesn't get confused with this. So, what I can do here, I see that, and one strategy, if you get confused by algebra, you can just try different numbers. Like you could start with 10, see if it works. 8 plus 10 is 18. Plus 10 more, that's only 28, so it's not going to work. So I need a bigger number. You could do it that way. If you're somebody who likes algebra, you feel comfortable with it, what you can notice is that I have a number over here, so I can subtract that 8 from both sides. Okay, and now I'm just going to have, so that's gone. 32 minus 8 is 24. Double check. Yeah, 24. So now that that's gone, I've got K plus K equals 24. And I know that since both of these are the same number, what plus what gives me 24? The same number doubled. 12, right? 12 plus 12 gives me 24. So I know now that K is 12. Okay? So, and one way I could check it, Sammy, and now I can go back to my original color. He brought 8 and 12. So Sammy brought 20 shrimp. Caden brought, I should write it in, Caden brought 12 shrimp. Okay, and that's the answer to that one, and I could double check it's true. 20 plus 12 is 32. So Sammy brought 12 shrimp, Sammy brought 20 shrimp, Caden brought 12 shrimp. All right, and I'm gonna keep referring to these numbers here, so that's why I kept them on the side. So Sammy, he brought 20. I'll get rid of all that now. Sammy brought 20, Caden brought 12, total of 32. What is the ratio of the number of shrimp Sammy brought to the number of shrimp Caden brought? So I want Sammy to Caden. 20 to 12. Express the number of shrimp Sammy brought as a fraction to the number of shrimp Caden brought. We got this. Sammy, again, 20 over, second number mentioned in the ratio, Caden, 12. 20 over 12. What is the ratio of the number of shrimp Sammy brought to the total? So now Sammy to total here. I use my fingers, you guys, to honestly refer and make sure they match. First it wants Sammy. Sammy, 20. 2, now it wants total. Total, 32. 20 to 32. Okay, and then it says, what fraction of the total shrimp did Sammy bring? So now it wants it as a fraction. So don't get confused here. This is so easy to do. You could go, oh, it says total to Sammy, so I'm gonna write it in that order. No, think about what this question's asking. What fraction of the total did Sammy bring? So it wants Sammy's number, which is less than the total, to be on top. So Sammy brought 20 of the total. So 20 out of the 32 total. 20 over 32. I promise, guys, that's the only problem today where the wording is kind of tricky like that. Because what we've practiced in the past is looking for what's mentioned first, what's mentioned second. This one's worded tricky, but if you think about it, it makes sense that Sammy's number is smaller than the total. And what we know about fractions, the smaller one would be on the top because we want to know how many Sammy brought out of the total number. Sometimes the bigger fraction will, the bigger number will be the numerator, but not in this situation the way it's worded. All right, you guys, now we're kind of getting in the groove of using fractions. So on the next exercise, part A and B, really fun, just kind of getting a little more familiar, a little quicker with this whole writing the ratio with the colon versus writing the ratio with the fraction. I'm going to recommend also using a side space to write the numbers down for each part, just like we did with that Sammy Caden total in the last one. So here we go. A food company that produces peanut butter decides to try out a new version of its peanut butter that's extra crunchy, using twice the number of peanut chunks as normal. The company hosts a sampling of its new product at grocery stores and finds that 5 out of every 9 customers prefer the new extra crunchy version. I heard that ratio language. I heard 5 out of 9. I know we're working with a ratio there. So That's saying 5 out of every 9, they prefer the new extra crunchy. So 5, and I'm just gonna label that extra crunchy. Okay, 9 total. That's the total number of customers that were in the little survey. So if 5 of them preferred that new extra crunchy peanut butter out of the 9 customers that were totaled, how many preferred just the regular, how it was before? Well, I know 5 and something would give me 9, so I can figure out that that would be 4. Okay, so 5 people said, yeah, I love the extra crunchy. 4 people said, no, I like the regular, out of the 9 totaled. So we're gonna keep coming back to that, those numbers there as we go forward. The ratio of the number preferring new extra crunchy to total. Okay, extra crunchy, 5 to the total, 9. Boom, boom. See how having that written here just helps me? The ratio preferring regular crunchy to total. Regular 4 to total 9. Can you guys tell how I'm having too much fun with this? There's something about this that is fun to me. Okay, the ratio of the number of people preferring regular crunchy to the number preferring new extra crunchy. So regular 4 to those extra crunchy fans, which is 5. 4 to 5. The ratio of the number of people preferring the new extra crunchy to the number preferring regular. Extra crunchy 5 to regular 4. All right, that is kind of like review. Now we're gonna take those same numbers, those same kinds of questions, and we're just gonna write it as fractions. So we'll be able to move through this pretty quickly. You ready? You got this. All right, so now, same problem. I'm on mine gonna just write those numbers down again. Oops, extra crunchy, so that was 5. Regular, you can probably still see it on yours, but I can't see it on my paper because it's a new one. Total 9. All right, here we go, ready? We got this. The number preferring the new extra crunchy is blank of the total number surveyed. So now it wants extra crunchy to total. Seeing that word of, that's telling me to write the fraction. See the directions say, let's use the value of each ratio to make multiplicative comparisons for each of the ratios we described here. Okay, that word multiplicative, it's obviously multiplication, and what it means is we're going to be using this fraction, this value, to multiply, and we'll do that later on. So it just wants it as a fraction form, guys. Extra crunchy, again, that's 5 over the total number of people, 9. And if you'll notice, this is just like our answer on the last one. We're still talking about the same order. Regular crunchy to total. Regular crunchy is 4 to total is 9. Okay, 4 over 9. The number preferring regular crunchy to those preferring extra crunchy. So regular 4 over extra 5. Okay, extra crunchy to regular, extra crunchy 5 to regular 4. See how quick when you get the hang of it?